To block visas for nations that ask for slavery reparations.
They ask for reparations. These arguments are a scam.
Pay up and shut up. That's the demand getting louder across the Caribbean. But there is something getting even louder. Let's dive in. Pay up now. That is the call of those who suffered injustice at the hands of those who perpetrated slaverish barbarity against a particular group, a particular nation, a particular people. That is what many people are asking for: reparation. The call for reparation isn't new. It has been around for many years. But recently, when the United Nations passed a resolution saying that slavery should be recognized as one of the gravest crimes in the history of humanity, many people are increasingly calling for payment.
They voted to recognise the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. The resolution was led by Ghana and was adopted despite resistance from the US. Over 50 countries chose to abstain, including EU member states. The resolution marks a new step in Africa's efforts to seek accountability for historical injustices where millions of enslaved people were trafficked over centuries. It urges countries to consider formally apologising for the atrocities that occurred and providing financial reparations.
But why are those who close to us or look like us are the voices you're hearing rejecting the notion of paying reparation? The UK's response is not just no. Some are saying ask for reparations and you could face consequences. This is shocking. What you're about to hear and see will definitely shock you. But before we get to that level, and to highlight those who are against the notion of paying reparations, it is important to look at those who are closest to us, who look like us, but behaving different from us in rejecting the notion of claiming reparations to the point of threats.
This is the past. We need to talk about the future. There are many countries now who want to use guilt to try and exploit the UK. They ask for reparations. I saw it as a trade minister. It's not culture wars. I was at the WTO. I won't name the minister from another country, and he was telling me that we needed to give up some of the things that we were doing because of colonialism and because they needed time to develop. These arguments are a scam. Don't fall for it.
An African woman, the leader of the opposition, the Conservatives Party, Kemi Badenoch, said these arguments are a scam. Her ancestors may have had linked with those who suffer one of the gravest atrocities that ever created by mankind, saying it's a scam. But Yousef went even further, because behind the headlines, something bigger is happening. Talk of reparations isn't just being rejected, it is being shut down. Politicians are drawing lines, debates are getting heated, people are even being thrown out for what they say. So the real question is, why won't the UK pay reparations? Is it about money, history, politics, or something they don't want to admit? Well, Yousef went a bit further. Watch this.
From Reform UK, responding to the demands for reparations for slavery from Britain. A growing number of countries are making this demand. These countries ignore the fact that Britain made huge sacrifices to be the first major power to outlaw slavery and enforce this ban on the slave trade.
So I've covered this in this video here that you're looking on the screen, and if you haven't seen this video, go onto my channel and watch this video, because while William Wilberforce did play a part in Santo Domingo, Haiti, they've already outlawed slavery, and therefore William Wilberforce had no choice but to join the camp, because with or without William Wilberforce, slavery would have been abolished. Here is a short clip from that video. The work already started in what we call Santo Domingo. While William Wilberforce was considering abolishing slavery, but on the night of the 22nd to the 23rd of August 1791 in Santo Domingo, which is today Haiti and Dominican Republic, an uprising began that would be extremely important in abolishing slavery. So why Yousef take an extreme hard line about the reason why the UK shouldn't pay reparation? Some of his facts are actually incorrect.
Astonishingly, of the countries demanding reparations, Tory and Labour governments issued 3.8 million visas to the United Kingdom to their nationals and sent them a staggering £6.6 billion in foreign aid over the last 20 years. £6.6 billion of British taxpayer money. Enough is enough.
So Mr Yousef, how about £7 trillion? Because Britain Empire was built on the backs of slaves. And what Britain has contributed to different countries around the world is nothing compared to how much slaves have contributed to the empire of the UK.
A reform government will not allow Britain to be slapped around and ridiculed on the world stage like the Tories and Labour. We will not allow British taxpayers to be insulted and their money wasted. We are putting these countries on notice. From this point, should any country formally demand reparations from Britain, a reform government will respond by immediately halting the issuance of new visas to their nationals. We have already committed to scrapping foreign aid. The United Kingdom, with Nigel Farage as Prime Minister, will have a backbone and stand up for our national interest.
Are you serious, Mr Yousef? Am I hearing correctly? Geopolitical blackmail against a people, a group, a nation who have suffered so much? Am I hearing correctly? I think we need to play this again. For those of you who believes that Britain should pay up now, without continuing the video, just sound off in the comment section and say Britain pay up now. Let's continue.
To block visas for nations that ask for slavery reparations.
Yeah.
You're basically saying you won't give visas then to huge swathes of the Caribbean and Africa. Let's just list the countries that have asked for slavery reparations: Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana, Antigua, Barbuda, Bahamas, Belize, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, Tobago, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, the list goes on. You think that's a feasible and operative plan?
If they
that won't
continue
be
to make, if they can make, well.
And here is why it is important for us to stick together as a collective force. Because what happened recently in Parliament will definitely let you turn your eyes and look up. Because this is what many people are not really talking about. Here is Lee Anderson addressing Parliament and calling the Prime Minister a liar. And this is how the Speaker reacted. Watch this.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The problem the Prime Minister's got is no one believes him. The public don't believe him. The MPs on this side of the House don't believe him. His own gullible backbenchers don't believe him. So does the Prime Minister agree with me? He's been lying.
Prime Minister, sorry, we don't use those words, and I'm sure the member's withdrawn it.
Mr Speaker, I have the greatest respect for you and your office, but I will not withdraw. That man couldn't lie straight in bed.
Order. Mr Anderson, you'll have to leave.
Nicely and calmly, the Speaker asked Mr Anderson to withdraw his comments about the Prime Minister. Mr Anderson refused and he was kicked out. Contrasting that with Zara Sultana, where many people have said that she could be passed as Mr Yousef's sister because they look alike. And this is how the Speaker reacted. Watch this.
Mr Speaker, we all know that the Prime Minister appointed Mandelson because he owes his job to him. Yep. He appointed him, he defended him, and now he claims to know nothing. He is gaslighting the nation. Yep. So let's call this out for what it is. The Prime Minister is a barefaced liar, and if he had any decency left...
No, order, sit and leave. Leave now. I'll name you otherwise and go now if I were you. Leave.
have a duty.
I'm not. Leave. I've no name. I've given the option to leave. I'd leave if I were you very quickly. Move before I read it and give me one option. Right, give me that. You have no duties. It's my duty to carry out and control this house. One chance. Do you want to leave now or not?
Right. To tell the truth,
I name Zara Sultana. Minister, I beg to move that the name, the said member, be suspended from the House.
Mr Speaker, call Jane Kitchen.
Jane Kitchener.
I beg to move that Zara Sultana be suspended from the service of the House.
The question is that Zara Sultana be named and leave this House. All those in favour? Aye. Leave.
It's one rule for one and another rule for the other being thrown out. And just like Sultana, Mr Yousef, you also will be thrown out of the UK just the same as you would block Africans and Caribbeans if they asked for reparation from entering the UK. You too are not safe.
You're quite
You look
happy
at the last
blocking
20 years,
people coming
those
from the
countries-
Caribbean or Africa. Say, for instance, if they have relatives here, you're going to say you just can't come because your country, even if you don't personally support it, supports slavery reparations.
I think you're making the exact argument about why their outrageous demands that people watching this programme should pay them reparations.
I think it's outrageous to
when it's got
demand
absolutely
slavery
nothing to do with it.
reparations, but people might equally think that it might be
Well,
used
then,
as a
if it's
sledgehammer
outrageous, it's
to
about
crack
time
them
Britain.
nuts.
Do you not agree, Camilla? It's about time Britain grew a backbone. And what we're saying is, if Nigel Farage is our Prime Minister, we're not going to allow Britain to be slapped around on the world stage. By the way, number one, Keir Starmer abstained outrageously in the UN vote about this matter. Number two, over the last 20 years, and again, the Tories are in power for the majority of that, those countries you just listed who are demanding reparations, we granted those countries millions of visas and issued them £6 billion, billion with a B in foreign aid. We've had enough of British people being taken advantage of.
Some of the people
And that's one of the reasons why the UK won't pay reparations, is for people like Mr Yousef and those who rejected and don't want the UK to pay for the sins it had committed. But here is another reason. If the UK pay reparation, then the UK will be bankrupt, because the UK reportedly or arguably, I believe, owes one Caribbean island £7 trillion for the wrong it had done to that island and the benefit it had gained from such atrocities. Now, I'm going to be speaking cryptic here, so you have to listen very carefully and use your wisdom. People like Kenny Badenoch and Yousef, who sound more British than most of us, do they really mean what they say? Or sometimes we say things in order to get the votes, and then when we're in, we may change our minds. Sometimes we act in a way to fit in, but deep down there are hidden agendas. What is your view? Write your comments in the comment section. Let's just have a discussion and a debate about this. Do you believe that the UK should pay reparation now? Or do you think that it is too much for the UK to pay and it happened in the past, and even though they've paid the slave masters for compensation for the slaves that they've lost, the slave should not get anything whatsoever? So I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and I shall see you on the other topic.